This needs help. Before I could start this laundry room makeover, I did have to add insulation and frame out the walls. And then I added some paneling to the walls as well. You can see a full video tutorial on this and I'll link to it below. I decided to speed up the process here with this laundry room. So I'm going to use unfinished cabinets that I got from Home Depot. There are some things that I'm noticing wrong with them, so I'm going to have to address that beforehand. This is why I like building my own cabinets, but with it being winter and I'm kind of pressed for some time, we're going to go the simpler route and just use the prefab cabinets. So let me hurry and show you what I'm seeing with this. The first issue is the drawer. It is going the wrong way, which makes it fall out. So the simple solution is switch the hardware to the other side so that it works properly. So then cut the pipes holes out of here. So let's try and get those cut. And to make it easy, I'm just gonna cut more of like a box shape out of here rather than for these individual holes because I've already got the valves on. If I didn't have that, it'd be easy, but the valves are on, so I've got to cut boxes out of it. The other thing that I had to cut out was the spot for my Wi-Fi. I found that the oscillating tool was actually so much easier than the jigsaw. To level the cabinets, I use shims. I covered the exposed side of the cabinet with a 1/4 inch MDF. Then I attached and leveled a scrap board to the wall to allow me to have a support to install the upper cabinets. And here's the cabinets all installed. Now I want to show you the other issue, and it's the door. See how they're not level? So we have to adjust the hardware to adjust the spacing there to make it completely level. At this point, we are ready for painting those cabinet doors and the bases. I like to use these little painting triangles, and instead of using a sprayer because it's cold outside, I ended up hand painting them. It didn't take very long because there wasn't very many, and it turned out very nice. We used a green color to paint these cabinets, and I love how they turned out. Next was painting the concrete floor. I decided just to use a paintbrush for this because I didn't want to dirty a roller, and it went on nice and easy. And if you're interested, I do have a full tutorial on painting concrete floor, and I'll link to it in the description below. Now it's time to add the finishing touches, which included trim, quick note, when you go to cut a brand new board from the store, you want to square it up, and this is why. If you look at that, it's not square when you get it. So make sure you square it up before you go to measure. Once all the trim was installed, I ensured that all the nails were slightly indented into the wood so that we could fill the holes later. And then it was time for the butcher block countertops. This is my first time doing this, and so this is how I decided to cut them to make the sink out of this part. So I just gave myself a guide according to the sink measurements, and then I took my circular saw and cut the wood out, and also the jigsaw to get the corners. I also did a waterfall butcher block countertop, and I used L brackets to anchor this to the wall and to the cabinets, and the edge was cut at a 45-degree angle. I used wood glue and extra sawdust from cutting the butcher block and to fill in the gap between the two boards. To seal the butcher block, I used a butcher block oil, and it actually brought out the color of the wood and made it look amazing. Now that the waterfall butcher block was installed, I could install the baseboards throughout the whole room. After installing the baseboards, I patched any nail holes, caulked all the seams, painted up anything that needed to be touched up, and installed the faucet, and here is what we were left with.